Okay, here we go, the last problems of the Chapter 3 review. This is Lesson 3-4, solving exponential and logarithmic equations. So on this problem here, we can add 3 to both sides. Now, the next thing I'm gonna ask myself is 59 a perfect power of 6? And it is not. So I can't use our same base option. So the only thing that we can do is log both sides. So you can choose log base 10 if that's your favorite log, or you could also choose the natural log. So we can have natural log of 6 to the 3x equals natural log of 59. So pick your favorite log. It doesn't matter. Your calculator has both buttons. Now, there is also a choice to be made right here. Our goal is to get the x by itself. And so it is possible to just bring down the x in front using our power property, like we did in the other problems. Some people choose to bring down the entire 3x, and that you can still get the right answer doing that too. To me, this one is just a little bit less work, but there's not a single correct way to do it. So now we can just divide both sides by log of 6 to the third, or you can even make that 216 if you want to. Now, when you do go to type this in your calculator, make sure you close the parentheses on the 59. So I could type in 6 to the third, I could type in 216, and so that's a fine answer. Chances are on a final we'd probably have a decimal, who knows. So let's go with 0.759. And just a quick reminder that you can always check these answers. This could be y1, this could be y2, and you could use your graph to check that, just to make sure it's right. All right, 27. So what you're going to notice here, I could rewrite the 4 as 2 squared. That's a 3. I could write 32 as 2 to the 5th. Now I have an extra step. I have to distribute that 2. Sometimes silly mistakes do happen there, so be careful. And so now we have a power equal to a power. They have the same base, and so the exponents must be equal. And now it becomes easy algebra. I ran out of room, so we'll move upstairs over here. So 6n equals 5, take away 2 is 3, and so grand finale, n equals 1/2. And you could check that by hand, you could check it with your graph. All right, this one looks exciting. So first thing that we're going to do is we do have a plus in between two logs. So you know from the previous problems, that means we're going to multiply the insides there. And so next we have a log equals a log. The bases are the same, and so the insides have to be equal. And so now we get a fun little algebra equation here. X squared plus 2x minus 35 equals 0. Ran out of room, so let's move up over here. So go ahead and factor it using any technique that you do to factor. So x plus 7 and x minus 5. So we have x equals -7 or x equals 5. But think back to all those other problems. We talked about the domain of a log function is not all reals. It has to be greater than 0. So I have to go back to my 2x values, and I have to go back to make sure that the inside of every log is greater than 0. So you're going to see pretty quickly the -7 does not work. And you can go as far or not far as you want to in checking it, but you can guarantee that 5 is a perfect answer. All right, but sometimes you're not going to be able to get two logs equal, so we'll figure out what to do here in problem 29. You can add the positive 6 to both sides there, because it's not, if there was parentheses, that's a different problem, but this one doesn't have the parentheses, so that 6 is going to move over. So -4 plus 6 is 2. So anytime your variable is inside of a logarithm, the way to get it out, some people call it circle of life. You could just say, I'm going to rewrite it exponentially. So now I'll just go over here. Now let's try that again. So e to the second equals x. So you could stop there, or if you like the decimal approximation better, you should be able to get 7.389. All right, last problem here. This was one of the more challenging things that we did in Chapter 3. We're going to go ahead and factor it. Now, if you are scared by this factoring, don't be. Just go back to Algebra 1 or Algebra 2 or Semester 1. Think about it like this and how you would factor that guy, and it won't be too scary. So we can go e to the x as our first terms. We want to multiply to 8 and add up to -6, so we'll go -4 minus 2. And so now I have e to the x equals 4 and e to the x equals 2. So we're going to go back to a previous problem. And how did we solve that? We took the natural log of both sides. So it is possible that you could stop and say x equals natural log 4. But if you prefer the decimal approximation, that's great. And you could also say x equals natural log 2. That's the exact answer. And then the decimal approximation is 0.693. Thanks for watching. Please reach out to your teacher if you have any questions. Thanks for watching. Have an awesome day.